lang, ay sa isabong isa lang yon. Alam niyo naman, daming nalulung. Di ba? Alam natin yon. Tumaas yung krimen. Just imagine, isabong lang yan. Pumasok to ngayon, itong iba-iba pang online gaming, dumarami ng dumarami. By the hundreds na. Just imagine. That's how serious it is. It's becoming serious, really. Marami na. Siguro po, I'm sure meron kang kamag-anak one way or the other na lulong sa Pigo. Lulong sa online gaming. Am I right or am I right? Meron ka kakilala?
Yes, sir.
Lahat tayo. Ako, may mga kakilala ako. Iba sa inyo, kamag-anak. We have to do something. Dapat magkaroon ng strict regulation. And what is that? And what are those regulations? May suggest po.
Sir, let me just call po the head po natin.
Saan po? And your name, madam?
Good morning po. Yes po. I'm Vina Oka. I'm with the Gaming Licensing and Development Department po. With regard lang po to the Responsible Gaming Program, which covers po both yung sa mga land-based natin at saka yung online din po currently, meron naman po tayong mga programa po like yung banning program. Pwede po silang mag-ban ng sarili po nila or yung pamilya po nila yung pwede din pong mag-nominate.
Ma'am, excuse me. Pinatawa mo ako. At least courtesy of you, napatawa ako. Di masaya ako. Banning yourself. Nobody will do that. Pag ikaw ay lulong na, hindi mo ibaban sarili mo, mas lalo mo ilulong sarili mo. So, alisin niyo na po yung banning yourself.
Meron naman po talaga, sir, na mga nagbaban din po ng sarili nila, sir, because they are aware din po na medyo lulong na nga po sila or
pero ma'am, hindi talaga. Ang pinakamaganda yung meron kayong ginagawang regulation na yung kayo mismo sistema, may system tayo put in place na magkakaroon ng ban yung sa mga lulong na. And how would you do that? Then paliwanag nyo sa amin yung programang yon. Tapos isa pa yung programa na dapat yung mga bata talaga maging stricto na hindi na mapapayagang magsugal sa online.
Yes po.
And how do you do that, ma'am?
Yes po. Meron din po tayo, sir, ongoing na collaborations and discussions po sa yung mga payment platform, yung mga, alam na po, yung ano po, yung GCash, yung mga nagke-carry po ng mga online apps. May ongoing po na meetings din po sa kanila and meron din po silang ginagawa na ring features on their part. And also po, yung mga online providers po mismo, meron na rin po silang ginagawa po na programa din po nila regarding sa responsible gaming. For example, pwede din po mag-set na ng limit yung player po mismo kung hanggang magkano lang po yung gusto nilang ilaro sa isang araw. Opo, meron din po.
Okay yon. So merong limit.
Yes, sir.
At dapat meron ding limit sa pagbibigay ng lisensya kung kani-kanino. Lahat na ata pwede na magtayo ng online gaming. Name it, meron na yan sa online.
Opo, sir. Unfortunately, hindi na po yung under sa akin, but under the Electronic Games and Licensing Department, I believe po, sir, na meron po silang ine-impose din po na may current na moratorium po sa pag-issue ng mga lisensya
So,
po nila.
Moratorium.
Yes, sir. Opo.
Tapos dapat merong strict regulations talaga dito na yung mga bata hindi na dapat makapaglaro.
Yes, sir. Opo.
Tapos siguro bawasan nyo yung yung mga, ilan ba existing na napayagang magkaroon ng online gaming?
Sorry po, sir. Meron po dito, sir, in charge po sa Electronic Gaming Licensing Department. I'm sorry, sir, po. Hindi po kasi under sa akin.
Tapos chine-check nyo ba yon? Ilan na?
60 ang licensees sa electronic gaming license daw po, sir.
Ang dami na. Kita mo dun sa isabo nga, ang daming nalulong. Isa lang yon. Ngayon, 60 na. Mas matindi ito. Sasabog sa mga mukha nito sa atin, Mr. Chair, pagdating ng panahon.
Opo, sir,
dahil maraming malululong. Ba't ang dami nyo po na-approvehan? 60. Approve lang kayo na-approve, bantusawa sa pag-approve.
Meron naman po, sir, sinusunod, sir, na proseso and guidelines po, sir, yung Electronic Gaming Licensing Department po natin, sir, sa pag-issue ng mga lisensya, sir.
Baka pwedeng stop muna. Stop na sa 60.
I think naka-stop naman po, sir. Opo.
So,
Wala pong ini-issue na bago, sir.
so wala na talaga.
Wala pong
Kapag
ini-issue
meron
sa
na
ngayon
issue
ng
na
mga
bago, ipupunta ulit ako kay Senator Mark. Sabihin ko, Senator Mark, mag-hearing ulit tayo. So siguraduhin nyo na 60 lang talaga from now on. Wala na may dadagdag yan. At dito sa 60, mag-imbestiga kayo. Baka dito, kung ano dito sa 60 na hindi sumusunod sa regulasyon, pa-stop nyo, pasara nyo.
Yes, sir.
So wala na papasara, wala na paparusahan dito sa 60.
May mga penalties po. Opo, meron din po, sir, I understand na mga providers po dyan or operators na may mga penalties din po, sir, based on non-compliances
Ano
po
po yung
nila,
mga
sir.
penalties? Ano po usually yung mga kasalanan nila?
Sige, sir. Sir, at this point, sir, I'm sorry, I will have to endorse you, sir, dun sa in charge po talaga sa
Opo,
electronics.
curious lang po ako. Ano usually ang mga kasalanan dito mga taga-Pigo? Usually, ano mga violations?
I will call on, sir, si Mr. Luis Masilang. He is the senior manager po sa Electronic Games and Licensing Department, sir.
Sige, ma'am.
Apo, thank you po,
Thank
sir.
you po,
Thank
Madam,
you po.
Madam Oka. Okay, doon sa 60 na current Pigo operators license sa inyo, sabi nyo, ilan dito ang nagkaroon ng violation at na sanctions. Ano usually ba yung mga violations nakita nyo?
Meron po kaming list of table of penalties at saka yung
Hindi, sa violation muna, ano usually? Curious lang ako, bakit sila na plug down na may violation? Ano po usually ang mga violation?
ay ang isa po diyan yung playing ng banned personalities.
Ano po?
Banned personalities. Halimbawa po minor naglaro, nire-report po 'yan, then pag napatunayan na talagang banned yung personality, may corresponding penalties po 'yan.
Magkano po yung penalty?
Tignan ko lang po yung
Yung sa minor po Okay. Dapat sir, memorize niyo yan. Para man tayo nag-aaral pa nito. Parang naalala ko na sa grade 1 ako, ganun ginagawa ko. Titimula ako sa libro pag nagtatanong yung teacher ko.
Actually, kung po ito, 100,000 per entry ng isang tao.
100,000 per tao na.
Pag pumasok po, na-report siya, halimbawa nakapasok ng 3 beses, then 300,000 yung fine, yung penalty.
Kung 10 tao, 1 million. Per head
Ganun
yung
po.
100,000.
Yes po.
Okay. Ba't walang suspension?
Yun po yung sinisigurado ko na dapat.
So, 100,000 per minor na nakapagsugal.
Opo.
Sir, next time, memorize mo na dapat mga yan, sir. Sabi, kaya nga ni-refer ka ni ma'am kanina dahil ikaw rin expert yan. And yet, you still have to look at your book. Don't do that next time, sir. Don't ever do that again. Pagtatawanan ka, sir.
Yes, sir.
Dapat memorize mo mga yan by heart.
Yun na po yung about the
penalty lang, hindi mo pa memorize. Hindi ko pa sigurado. So, 100,000.
nakatali po kasi yung penalty doon sa
Hindi, ang tanong ko lang sa minor, sabi, sige, banned personality, ano pa mga Mr. Luis Masilang, Electronic Gaming License Department. Ano pa usually yung violation? Banned personality kasama yung minor?
unauthorized operation po. Alam mo, nag-operate po sila ng hindi pa ayos ang lisensya nila.
Na hindi pa isang lisensya. Magkano naman pumulta? Tingnan mo sa libro. Tingnan mo, buksan mo pa.
First offense po, warning. Then
First offense warning.
second offense, 250,000.
Whoa. While waiting for their license to be approved and they operate, and ang gagawin lang, wag mong ulitin.
Yes, sir. May consideration po. Baka ini-evaluate pa po.
No. Yan tayo eh.
I mean, kompo, yung
Sir
circumstances.
naman. Sir naman. Allowing unqualified players, 25,000 na, sabi mo 100,000. First offense. Oh, Hindi mo talaga memorize. Buti pa yung mga tao ko. Allowing unqualified players to access and play restrictive gaming platform. First offense, 25,000. Sabi mo 100,000. Bagsak ka na. Kung ako yung professor mo, babagsak na kita.
Dalawang klase po kasi. That is for yung mga operators. Ang hinahanap ko po yung pang-service providers.
Ibig sabihin, itong 25,000, ang multa dito sa player? Hindi, of course, top operator.
Hindi po. Dalawang klase po kasi ang operation ng domestic gaming operation.
We're just talking about Pigo, domestic. Alam mo naman yun.
Actually, we don't have the term Pigo po. Wala sa...
sige, online operators. Online gaming, electronic gaming.
Domestic gaming po.
Yes.
Meron po yung mga maliliit, yung gaming venues.
Kaya nga, gaming venue, okay, dito local, gaming venue, operator, nag-access yung, pinayagan nila yung unqualified na magsugal, bata, minor, sabi natin 10 years old, 12 years old, 25,000 lang multa.
Ang binanggit ko po kanina 100 na yan po ay penalty sa mga operators ng mga gaming venues.
Okay, ano itong 25,000?
Yan po siguro sa service providers. Yan po yung hinahanap ko kanina.
Hinahanap mo pa? Hanapin mo pa, baka mahanap mo. Tuloy lang.
Sige po.
Second offense, 50,000. Ito na, lumundag ka sa third offense. Third offense is 100,000. Ayan, sir. First offense, 25. Second offense, second offense, 50. Lumundag ka sa third. Dapat third offense, suspension na, cancellation. Kau naman. Pinapatagal niyo pa Di ba, Mr. Chair? Third offense, cancel, kulong pa dapat. And yet, 100,000 lang. Paano sa fourth offense?
Sige po, i-evaluate namin po yung
Evaluate. I-evaluate mo pa kung anong multa sa fourth offense. Sir, kanselado na dapat. Wala nang fourth offense. In fact, wala na dapat third offense Kung akong tatanungin
Wala, hindi ko makita yun. Dalawa po kasi yan na
Di ba, sir, pag yung sa tupada, may first offense, ang ginagawa ng mga pulis natin, kinukulong, may kasama pang kulata. Dito, first offense, 25,000. Maliit na bagay lang to sa mga nagpapasugal.
Sige po,
Tapos pinayagan pa ng second offense, 50,000. Third offense, 100,000.
Sige po, i-evaluate namin yung...
No, sir, don't evaluate. Taasan mo itong multa. First offense. Kung ako pantatuloy, 1 million dapat first offense
Yes po.
And then second offense, cancel. The fact na meron itong third offense, ibig sabihin, tinotolerate nyo na sila ay magkaroon ng, kumbaga, anticipated nyo na magkakaroon ng pagkakamali mga ito. Na uulit pa mga ito. Siguro, sige, tolerate nyo first offense. Nagkaroon ng problema, technical, whatever. Second offense, do something about it. It's either suspension or cancellation. Can you do that, sir? Sa susunod na hearing, sir, huwag ka na magdala notebook. So gagawin natin, pag pinatawag kayo dito, sir, mag-memorize na kayo, mag-study kayo, sudod kayo ng kilay. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Kasi itong, saka yung Pigo, it's starting to be a serious problem. Marami na ako nababalitaan, Mr. Chair, mga kabataan especially. Maski mga ordinary, mga housewife, sa bahay lang, bored sila. Electronic gaming. Ito yan. And again, NTC, kayo dyan sa NTC, isabong dyan sa Pampangan lakas. Sa May Negros, malakas. Do something.
Yes, sir. Makakaasa po kayo. Thank you very much po, sir, for your kindness po. Thank you so much po.
Thank you. Kasi pag hindi kayo umaaksyon, sabi pa nga sa mga netizen, alam na this. Kung ano yon, alam mo na rin yon. Okay, thank you. Yun lang muna, Mr. Chair. That's all, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Sen. Rafi. And in line with his questioning, I'd like to direct the committee to please receive this the accomplishment report of the NTC, and please transmit it immediately to the office of Senator Rafi, and give me a copy as well. We have to be very vigilant, and it's tama si Sen. Rafi na ang dami namang cases, hindi natin alam kung hindi naman nati-take down itong mga sites. So kailangan talaga natin tutukan itong problema na to. So, thank you. And my line of questioning is regarding this yung nangyari pong entrapment operation ng PAOCC kasamang ibang agencies laban sa isang travel and visa consultancy firm, kung saan nalaman nila na nagpa-process pala ito ng government documents katulad ng marriage certificate, birth certificate, and even passport for foreign national bearing Filipino name. And I'd like to ask the PAOCC kung paano nangyari po ito na nagkaroon po ng mga official documents ang travel agency. Meron pang PSA issued certified birth certificates. So please, if you can ask for an explanation.
Good morning, Mr. Chair. Nangyari po ito noong February 4, 2025. May lumapit po sa aming isang complainant. Kasi po previously nahingan na po siya ng 1.2 million nung travel agency na yon. Na ang sinasabi niya ay that well connected sila sa NBI, sa Bureau of Immigration, at kaya niyang pa-release yung fiancé niya. So nagbigay siya ng 1.2 million. And then the other one, yung isang complainant po, nagbigay naman siya ng 800,000. The same modus, they're asking for 800,000 with the promise na kaya niyang ipa-release din yung asawa niya na nakakulong sa immigration. And
yung asawa niya, dayuhan?
Mga POGO operators po, sir. So nung nakatunog po siya at nag-report na po sa amin, nag-set up na po kami ng entrapment. So humingi again siya ng 500,000. So nag-set up po kami, sir, ng entrapment operation. Initially, she asked for 250,000. So in-entrap na po namin siya. Nahuli na po namin. Nung mahuli po namin siya, then we were surprised that in the office, nakakita po kami ng mga government-issued IDs like yung sa DOLE, yung ini-issue po nila, yung alien employment permits, and then they have birth certificates, they have marriage certificates. And these are all original, sir, dahil may mga resibo pa po galing sa PSA. And a lot of government-issued IDs, even passports. Kasi, sir, last year, itong agency na to, itong travel agency na so was already in our radar. Na sila po yung mga gumagawa ng mga passports, Philippine passport. They issued a Philippine passport dun sa mga foreign nationals, and then pinapalitan po nila ng mga pangalan. So, yun po yung nangyari ron.
So, na-interrogate nyo yung agency. Saan daw nila nakuha yung mga document, yung mga original government?
Yes, during the debriefing, sir, sinabi naman po nila na may mga contact pa rin po sila sa mga government agencies. And yun nga ho, sir, yung ni-request namin with other agencies, especially those who issued yung government-issued IDs, na to conduct investigation on their own. Basing, sir, dun sa nangyaring insidente yung pagkakahuli po namin.
Kasi sa tingin ko, kailangan habulin nyo rin yung mga big fish kasi meron talagang mga kasabwat na, I don't know, hindi ko alam, but baka may connection sa government. Siyempre, baka isa lang itong agency na to, baka marami na susupply ng mga government documents. We don't know, di pa natin alam yung extent ng problema. Baka mamaya, malit lang to, pero wholesale na pala, marami pala nakakakuha ng mga official documents.
Yes, sir. During the investigation po na ginawa namin, I think we have we're looking at 21 other banned travel agencies. Kasi sir, according sa Bureau of Migration, nakaban din itong nahuli na to sa kanilang office. And we're looking at 21 more like this. Na ang tingin namin sir, these agencies are also responsible sir dun sa mga previous na iniimbestigahan natin sa mga POGO hubs na nahuhuli namin. Na every time na makakahuli kami sir, nakakakita talaga kami ng mga alien employment permits, IDs, BIR, driver's license, and other ID sir na hindi naman dapat nasa possession o nasa pangalan ng mga foreign nationals.
Sana sana makuha nyo na rin yung source. Siguro hindi naman, I don't want to tell you how to do your job, to do what process you have to do, pero sa tingin ko mas syempre yung agency, that's a conduit, yung agency, yung travel agency. Pero kung gusto nyo talagang stop itong ganitong practice, kailangan hanapin nyo yung source ng mga government documents at kung paano sila nakakakuha ng official documents at paano sila nakakapag-process ng mga POGO or ng mga illegal people who are here illegally.
Yeah, yes sir. Tama po kayo doon sir. Actually sir, yung we organize this technical working group already sir with all the agencies involved sir. Papatawag na po sila. I think that is scheduled next week. And then we will be discussing on kung bakit nagkakaroon yung mga, especially those banned travel agencies, sir. Bakit sila nagkakaroon still now ng access doon sa mga government agencies na yun, sir. So that will be part of the TWG, sir, na tinayo po ni Executive Secretary Lucas Bersamin.
Kasi sa tingin ko, itong nakukuha yung mga documents, syempre, itong mga travel agencies, it's also a symptom of a larger issue, which is yung government agencies na kasabwat ng mga criminal groups, and kasabwat sila, nagbibigay sila ng mga official documents at pinoprocess din nila yung mga dokumentong ito. So I think there's a larger issue at stake also beyond the travel agency. Siyempre sila yung distributors, kumbaga, kung mga distributors, pero sino ba yung wholesaler, saan sila nakakakuha, at sino yung contact nila sa gobyerno. At I think that's a larger issue that if we want to solve this issue on yung mga illegal migrants, yung mga pupasok dito, I think we have to get to the source, which is somewhere, I don't know kung paano sila nakakakuha ng ganitong klaseng dokumento, but if you find the source, malamang at least baka ma-stop pa itong practice pag nakuha nyo na yung source ng mga illegal na dokumento. So I hope siguro sa next hearing sana karoon tayo ng update or more on not just the travel agencies but also kung who is the source at paano sila nakakakuha ng ganitong klaseng dokumento. Then anyone can fake. Kung nakakakuha sila ng official, anyone can fake meron pang birth certificate. So, magkakaproblema talaga tayo kung meron talaga mga fake birth certificates. Ang dami talaga makakapasok sa atin illegally. I mean, at yung mga masasamang elemento makakapasok dito illegally. So, I hope we can have in the near future, sana may mga mga good news tayo, may mga nahuhuli na supplier ng mga illegal documents.
We will give you an update on the next hearing or siguro sir magpapadala lang po kami ng report if ever we have developments.
Yes, and regarding, I just want, may question lang ako sa siguro the PNP, itong regarding the seizure of physical assets. Siguro for the law enforcement agencies, I understand umabot na ng 6.2 billion pesos ang value ng assets na galing sa mga raid ng illegal POGOs. Tama po ba? 6.2 billion pesos ang more than. Okay. And the reason I'm asking is because recently ako yung may pinasa po tayong batas, yung AFASA law, wherein actually the law enforcement agency can use these assets for to help the victims of the crimes. Ito yung AFASA bill. And under the AFASA bill, it's physical assets, buildings, yung mga pera, mga sasakyan, maaaring gamitin sa mga expenses ng law enforcement, maaaring gamitin sa mga expenses ng law enforcement at para sa victim protection. So, nasa batas na yan, pwedeng gamitin. So, I just want to know kung nagagamit na po ba itong mga assets para sa victim protection at para sa enforcement operations ninyo? Whoever's the law enforcement, baka pwede yung...
For the PNP side,
Sagutin.
sir, hindi pa po kami nakaka-take advantage dun sa...
Opo. I
batas
just
na.
want to remind the law
Yes, sir.
enforcement agency, nasa
Yes, sir.
batas na po ito eh. So, yes, sir.
On the part of PAOK, sir, meron po kami ngayong ongoing na almost mga 10 sites na under forfeiture or ano. Ngayon po, nasa preservation order pa lang po sila. But 2 of them already have asset preservation order. Namely, yung pong Sunyuan, meron na pong provisional asset preservation order. At saka po yung SA Rivendell na meron pong asset preservation order ng po RTC branch. Now, there are about 10 sites. Doon pa lang po sa Banban, Sunyuan, almost 10 hectares, 36 buildings, almost 7 billion po yun. Opo. So marami pa po malalaking mga sites na under preservation order, including po yung sa Cebu na isang malaking resort. Opo.
Okay, good. Sana po sa next hearing, ma-update nyo rin kami kung sayang kasi nung ginawa namin yung batas, para lang sa law enforcement agencies, para magamit yun na rin kasi sayang marami din silang assets na nakatenga lang na pwede namang gamitin para sa operations at para matulungan yung mga biktima.
Yes, sir. Actually, sir, ito pong Nasdaq, sir, building, the one in Pasay, sir, dito rin. That's a 6-story building. Ginagamit na po ng Bureau of Immigration para sa kulungan. Actually, it can house around 1,000 detention prisoners. And ginagamit na rin po ng DSWD yun, sir, for yung first floor and second floor is being utilized by DSWD for the Walang Gutom Kitchen. Okay. And kami po, sir, nag-o-office din po doon. And also the National Bureau of Investigation, sir. So, ginagamit na po namin, sir, yung ginawa yung batas, sir.
Yes,
And yung the one in Banban, sir, that's about 36 buildings, sir. Ito, sir, yung kay Alice Go, which is talagang, I think, sir, next week, meron pong schedule of parang inspection to be led by the Executive Secretary Lucas Bersamin and AFP Chief Browner and SND Teodoro, sir. They will be going there, sir, kasi ang balak doon, sir, gagawing campo and training center.
Good. At yun ang purpose ng batas eh. Yes, sayang naman kung hindi natin gagamitin. At it's congratulations, and at least I can see that you're starting to use it. I just encourage you, just a reminder na may batas na yan. At kaya nga namin ginawa yan para at least matulungan kayo sa inyong mga operations at pati yung mga biktima, matulungan din sila magamit itong mga assets that are very significant. Ang laki ng assets nila. Sayang kung hindi natin gagamitin. And I encourage you to continue using it for the benefit of the victims and at least nasa batas na, hindi na kayo mahihirapan.
Yes, sir. Yung isa na lang, sir, na aside from the assets, yung mga sasakyan, sir, nakita namin, sir, nasasayang, sir. And these are luxury vehicles, sir, na nandun po, sir.
Yeah, and this can be used. Again, it's in the law, so it can be used. I mean, for whatever purposes.
About 134 vehicles.
Yes, sir. Yes. So please, with your legal, you can study the laws. What is allowable under the law, and if you can maximize that to help the victims and to further enhance your operations. Yes. Yes, and I'd like to, again, just siguro I'm almost done with my questioning, but I'd just like to encourage our law enforcement agencies. The PAGCOR, they're not an enforcement agency. So they're doing their job by reporting it. Kanina, binanggit nila na ang dami na nilang nire-report. We have to improve our action taken, especially sa NTC, these illegal, yung mga isabong. We have to really put more effort into enforcing. Baliwala lang, ang dami na nilang nire-report, but it seems na konti lang ang nati-take down. And obviously, hindi naman mahirap hanapin eh. I mean, I'm sure these are accessible. Makikita nyo naman kaagad kung meron talagang gambling function. And the fact that wala pang konti lang ang natitake down, and we don't have any numbers yet, but we'll be expecting the numbers this week. Siguro dapat medyo tutukan ng, hindi naman siguro, dapat tutukan ng NTC yung mga request ng PAGCOR. So can we get that commitment from the NTC regarding the takedown? And
Yes, sir. We will submit the report po immediately.
And siguro, sir, baka pwede nyo rin i-follow up yung itong mga nire-report nyo so we can also help you in making sure that the illegal is these illegal sites and these illegal operators are being these illegal sites are being taken down.
Yes,
and
sir.
the laws are being, and your regulations are being enforced.
May I add
Yes,
something,
please,
sir? In fairness to NTC, sir, actually NTC is very responsive, sir. Out of the 9,000 plus, 9,702 illegal sites, they were able to block already 7,553. That's 77.85% blocking percentage, which is up higher than last December, which is only 67%. So we would like to thank the NTC for doing their job.
That's a good number, in fairness, NTC. Sana sinabi niyo yan kanina.
I'm sorry, sir, but personally po kasi I'm not involved po with the process po of the processing na po ng blocking ng
Yes.
websites. That's why
Oo nga, but,
I didn't have the numbers
yes, but
po.
siguro, anyway, alam nyo naman yung topic, di ba? So, siguro kung yung topic is gaming, and if you have any functions related to that, kunin nyo na yung mga statistics para at least,
Yes,
I mean, even in fairness to your performance, kung sinabi nyo naman 7,000 out of 9,000 na takedown, that's fair. That's a fair effort. Maganda na, okay naman yung effort doon. Of course, 2,000 is still 2,000. Marami pa yan. But on my part, it's very, para sa akin, importante ma-enforce natin yung mga laws regarding itong mga illegal. Malaking problema itong illegal. And sometimes we talk about PAGCOR, but the legal, but mas malaking problema yung illegal. I think we should understand that. Of course, legally, we have issues with yung gaming. Everyone has their opinion. Pero malaking problema ang illegal sa atin. And we have to work together to reduce this and, for the improvement of our society. So anyway, we'll be receiving your report soon, an update. And we encourage you to please work harder. Let's put even more effort in stopping the increasing illegal. At least if it's legal, somehow may pakinabang din ng gobyerno. If it's illegal, ang nakikinabang lang mga masasamang elemento. So, yes, ma'am, from the DICT, please.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you for the floor. Moving forward, Your Honor, just a recommendation. Also, as in the exercise of the supervision power of the Department of Information and Communications Technology over the NTC and our other attached agencies, Your Honor, I'd like to manifest that for purposes of policy making, we will formally also write the NTC for request of these numbers, Your Honor, so that we can also oversee these numbers and support the work of NTC in relation to helping PAGCOR. Secondly, Your Honor, we will also be communicating with PAGCOR with regards to the issues raised earlier by Senator Tulfo. Maybe there is a need to revisit the existing laws and the matrix of penalties, Your Honor, and we will submit it to your committee in case you want to do it in aid of legislation, Your Honor, this data. And I also would like to manifest, Your Honor, that we will be officially coordinating with DOLE on the innocent but displaced workers with regards to this POGO direction, Your Honor, because the IT-BPM industry, as you mentioned in your opening speech, would need a lot of workers, and these are decent work, Your Honor, to support your committee efforts, Your Honor. Thank you.
Yes, thank you very, very much. And at this point, I'd like to thank all the resource persons for coming here today and joining us in this hearing. Hearing no further comments, let me express again my heartfelt appreciation for your time on this hearing on the Yeah, and then on our hearing for the directive of His Excellency President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos to ban the offshore gaming operations. And as we move forward, kailangan po natin masigurado na ang kapakanan ng ating mga kababayan na maapektuhan ng pagpapasara ng mga POGO ay sentral sa ating mga susunod na discussions. Kailangan natin siguraduhin na magkakaroon tayo ng smooth at strategic na plano sa pagsasara ng mga POGO at kasabay ng investigasyon sa mga allegation na atin napag-uusapan ngayong araw. So with the approval of my colleagues and in consideration of the time allotted for this hearing, I would like to suspend this hearing. If you have any additional comments on any of the sections or provisions of the legislative proposals, please email it to this committee. Again, thank you very much and have a good day.